Special sessions on Japan and Korea-specific business etiquettes further prepare students for global opportunities.
One of NDIM's strongest differentiators is its deep industry leadership ecosystem and unmatched corporate handholding. The institution is guided by 6 Padma awardees, leading industrialists, former senior government of India officials, policy experts, and top business leaders from some of India's major industrial houses such as Ambuja Group, Shriram Industries, JBM Group, and several other respected corporations. Student exposure and continuous handholding remain at the core of NDIM's philosophy. In the last 18 months alone, students have participated in more than 1,500 live industry projects with over 200 companies. More than 300 corporate leaders actively mentor students, while industry professionals continuously contribute to curriculum design, training, industry visits, business chamber interactions, and practical exposure initiatives. This ensures students learn directly from real business environments and current industry practices.
Our mentors panel includes top leadership from renowned organizations such as Tata Sons, Bharti Airtel, Piramal Group, Maruti Suzuki, SREI Infra, Dr. Lal Pathlabs, Emeritus, Uno Minda, Mahajan Imaging, Sigma Industries, Paramount, and Mansa Consulting Services. NDIM also maintains strong associations with organizations such as the UK India Business Council, helping students gain wider global and industry exposure. Through the guidance and experience of these accomplished leaders, students receive learning that goes far beyond textbooks and classrooms.
NDIM's innovative approach towards industry-led and technology-integrated management and business education has been recognized internationally. A detailed case study on NDIM has also been developed by Dr. Philip Kotler, the globally respected management guru, and his team. The UK India Business Council has also chosen NDIM as a case study reference for UK Vice Chancellors in the area of industry-led education. Students also regularly interact with global CEOs, diplomats, industry leaders, and senior executives through conferences, seminars, corporate sessions, and leadership engagements.
The Institute provides strong international exposure through collaborations with international universities, interactions with ambassadors from multiple countries, global live projects, scholarships, overseas opportunities, and international corporate exposure. NDIM students are prepared not just for Indian industry, but for a globally connected business environment. NDIM prepares students for emerging career roles in data science, AI analytics, product analytics, strategic consulting, financial analysis, risk advisory, talent analytics, digital transformation, and process automation. Recruiters include leading organizations across consulting, analytics, finance, technology, manufacturing, and global business sectors, reflecting the Institute's strong alignment with new age industry requirements.
By combining industry integration, technology-enabled education, practical exposure, global opportunities, and continuous mentorship from industry leaders, NDIM continues to shape future business professionals ready for the modern world. NDIM was honored to welcome the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, at its recent convocation ceremony. Let us now listen to his thoughts and observations about the institute in his own words.
डिग्री तो बहुत लोगों को मैनेजमेंट स्कूल में मिलती है, पर आपके यहाँ जिसको मैंने डिग्री दी, मेडल दिया, कोई डिलॉयट में जा रहा है, कोई अर्नेस्ट एंड यंग में जा रहा है. आप लोगों का जो लगाव है फिक्की के साथ, एसोसिएम के साथ, I was very delighted. Because a boy and girl walking out of this institute, first and foremost must have his or hands full. ताकि contribute करें. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा है. This is unique feature.
NDIM, leading towards industry and technology integrated management education. At NDIM,
Thank you so much. It is now my privilege to introduce our Vice Chairman, Mr. Ankur Bansal, sir, a chartered accountant and an MBA from Carnegie Mellon University, USA, formerly an investment banker and consultant with Bank of America, Ernst & Young, and Arthur Andersen. Sir spearheads the reach of our institution across India. To formally welcome you all to the Japan-India Business Confluence, may I request Sir to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Distinguished guests, respected industry leaders and academicians, esteemed delegates from India and Japan, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good afternoon and welcome to the India-Japan Business Confluence at NDIM, being organized in collaboration with Japan External Trade Organization and the Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry in India. Looking at today's theme, where Japan meets India, sharing best practices in talent, culture, and growth, we are reminded of how natural this partnership truly is. When we talk about global collaborations, we often focus on the balance sheets, numbers, and corporate strategies, but the connection between India and Japan goes much deeper than just trade figures. It is a partnership built on shared values, deep mutual respect, and a profound cultural connection that dates back centuries, rooted in the timeless spiritual links of Buddhism. One of the most powerful chapters of our shared history lies in Japan's critical support during India's struggle for independence. In the 1940s, it was Japan that provided vital military, logistical, and political backing to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the Indian National Army. That spirit of mutual support seamlessly transitioned into the modern era. When Japan was rebuilding its economy after World War II, India was one of the first nations to supply iron ore to help spark the revival of the Japanese steel industry. Decades later, Japan returned that solidarity, becoming India's biggest bilateral donor and helping build the foundational pillars of our modern economy. The Maruti-Suzuki collaboration completely revolutionized the Indian automobile sector. Today, we are working hand in hand on monumental projects like the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor. When Japanese precision, innovation, and Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement, combined with India's immense pool of young, adaptive talent and digital dynamism, the results are truly historic. At NDIM, we believe in preparing our students for this precise brand of global collaboration, and NDIM has a deep connection with Japan. Our board member, Mr. Nair, was awarded Order of the Rising Sun Gold and Silver Star by the Emperor of Japan. Mr. Kenji Hiramatsu, in his capacity as the Ambassador of Japan to India, visited NDIM's convocation as our guest of honor and awarded degrees to our students. NDIM launched a dedicated Japan Center of Excellence in 2018 to help our students absorb the Japanese work ethic, culture, and provide our students the opportunities for professional internships and employments in leading MNCs in Japan. Our students have visited Japan 4 times in the last 3 years on study tours to prestigious Japanese universities and corporations. We have also had the pleasure of hosting on campus various student and industry-led delegations from Japan. We are grateful to the 90+ Japanese companies who have provided internships and placements to our students. And at this forum, I request all present here to also spare your valuable time for mentoring our students and giving them opportunities for hands-on learning in your organizations. We are incredibly proud to host this confluence alongside the JCCII, JETRO, and our esteemed panelists representing Yamato Logistics, Kose, TPR Auto Parts, KNL India, Nihon KE, NRM International, and Geek Pictures. To our students, I urge you to look at the leaders on this stage, not just as corporate executives, but as the modern torchbearers of a historic alliance. Listen closely how they navigate cultural integration and talent growth. I'm confident that today's sessions and interactions will spark new ideas, strengthen partnerships, and open pathways for future collaboration between India and Japan. On behalf of the organizing team, I once again extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you. Wishing everyone an engaging, insightful, and successful India-Japan Business Confluence.
Thank you so much, sir. Our institute's association with industry professionals of Japan formally began in 2018 with the establishment of the Japan Center of Excellence. The video presentation that follows is a walkthrough of 8 years of this journey. May I request the IT team to kindly play the video.
getting Sunday imas and the Gatse days.
Thank you so much. Now we are moving to the first panel discussion of the day. Building a successful Indo-Japanese bridge relies entirely on the people who walk across it. To explore how we can better attract and sustain the brightest minds, we now move into our first panel discussion on the topic, recruitment and retention of Indian talent. May I take a few minutes to introduce the panelists of panel discussion 1, Mr. Yoshioka Tsutomu, CEO of Kosei Corporation India, a professional with 22 years of journey of brand building, strategy, and market leadership from Japan to India. Beginning his career in 2004, he steadily rose through the ranks of Kosei Corporation, mastering account sales, product planning, and communication strategy. His expertise spans the entire spectrum of beauty and consumer goods industry. The second panelist is Professor Ueda Jr., Managing Director of TPR Auto Parts Manufacturing India, a leader with 30 years of experience across top MNCs, an expert in finance, marketing, supply chain, and ESG, a double master's degree graduate with rich international experience spanning India and the US. His commitment to cultural diversification and women empowerment brings a truly global perspective to our stage. The third panelist is Mr. Suzuki Takashi, Chief Director General of Jethro India, an expert in international trade and global strategy. Sir joined Jethro in 1994. His brilliant career has taken him from Japan to Nigeria, Europe, and across South Asia, specializing in cross-border business promotion. Since 2022, he has been steering the organization's highest strategic visions right here in the subcontinent. We also have Mr. Daisuke Ito, Managing Director of Yamato Logistics India, with 20-year legacy of logistics expertise and market leadership. Sir rose through the ranks of Yamato Logistics to lead their global business strategy division in Japan. He took the helm of Indian operations as Managing Director in November 2023. Moderating the panel today is Mr. Nikhil Singh Sir, Dean, Training and CEO of Japan Center of Excellence at NDIM. He has over 25 years of experience in diverse industries. He is responsible for the resounding success of Japan Center of Excellence. May I request the panelists to kindly come on stage for the first panel discussion. Mr. Yoshioka Sutomu, Professor Ueda Jr., Mr. Suzuki Takashi, and Mr. Daisuke Ito. Panel being moderated by Professor Nikhil Singh Sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm incredibly honored to host this panel discussion. And to my panelist, let me try something in Japanese. Gokatao na isai, ojikan go kakate shimate mo, okini nasara naidu kudasai. Moshi, watashi no eigo ga haya sugitari, shitsu tomon ga wakari zurakata bae wa itsudemo enre nak kiki naroshite kudasai. All right. All right. So, all right. So India and Japan are growing closer in business. The two countries have a plan to exchange 500,000 people over the next 5 years. Today, more than 1,400 companies, Japanese companies, are already working in India. Indian professionals want to work with Japanese companies. Japanese companies want to hire more people in India. But this connection is still not easy to make. So my simple question to all of you, you may like to answer in one sentence. What is that one big step that will finally bring Indian talent and Japanese companies together? So we'll start from left. Suzuki-san, over to you.
Thank you very much. It's working? I don't know. Thank you very much, Nikhil-san. But before answering your question, I just would like to convey our big the congratulations and appreciation for this beautiful event, chairman, vice chairman, and of course the great faculty members. Nikhil-san, of course, you are the one of the main, the person, and the students for this the nice initiative focusing on India and Japan. Thank you very much for this event. And my answer should be in only in one sentence. Okay, okay. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think big step may not happen in this, the people-to-people exchange, educational, or the talent to business. There are lots of challenges, and will take time. But I believe within these 5 years, or if we can see 10 years, I think this very fundamental relation between Japan and India must be changing drastically. It's been said, India, Japan, we are the natural partners. But again, to be honest, I have a bit doubt, is it really a natural partner? Because there are lots of investment coming into India from Japan. Now we have 1,400 Japanese companies here. They are all active, they are all successful. But when we see those very basic exchange of the people between two countries, it's still lacking something comparing with our relation with China or our relation with major ASEAN countries. Still something is missing. But if we change this dimension, this aspect, our relation must be the huge change and improvement, and we see the big future together with us. That is going to be finally the big step between us. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzuki-san. Over to you, Yoshioka-san.
First, thank you for inviting me to this event. So, it's difficult question. My answer, dive to India. So, as you know, population in most of countries has not changed currently. And in the future, not change slightly. But India is different situation. Yeah, it has big population bonus. So, and in terms of population, so Japan has twice population to compare to Korea. But expat in India, Korea is twice compared to Japan. This is a truth. And Japan government and Japan said to want to communicate more with India. But it seems as though Japan is just waiting, from my view. But this is my answer.
Thank you, Yoshioka-san. Ito-san.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. First of all, like, let me excuse. Can I speak in Japanese?
Yes, please. Yes, yes.
Like, we have to show like how AI technology is better. すいません、じゃあ日本語で失礼します。そうですね。インドの才能、インドの優秀な人材をどう日本の会社に浸透させるかと。で、おそらくこれからその人材交流としてインドの人材が日本に行くとか。あるいは逆に日本の人材が私なんかもそうですけど日本の人材がインドに来るということもあると思っていますと。で非常に単純な話なんですけどもやはりその、違う環境で生活をするということになりますんでやっぱりその文化の理解とか生活の理解というのが必要だということですよね。で特にインドの方が、日本だとか他の国に行かれるときにやっぱり一番気になるのは多分食生活だと思っています。で鈴木さんが非常にインドでられててかなりインドの人材を日本の浜松ですねで受け入れられた時にやっぱりそれに応じてインドレストランができたりとか、あるいは鈴木さんの社員食堂にベジタリアンの、レーンができたりとかということで、鈴木さんはついにインドカレーを鈴木さんから販売するというふうにもなりましたけども、そういうところでそれって当然企業が努力をする部分もあるんですけども、自治体とか、そういったところも、努力をしないとですねなかなか、そういった受け入れと本当の意味での定着っていうのは難しいのかなというふうに思っていますのでやっぱりそういった相互理解が必要なのかなというふうに思っています。以上です。
Thank you, Ito-san. Ueda-san.
Thank you so much for inviting me such nice opportunities. It's so much honored to be in front of distinguished guests. So regarding this question, yes, very interesting questions. My answer is building a trust ecosystem where Indian, Japanese employee can accept. This is my answer. Why? Because now currently Japan also changing. Previously Japan believes single company working is the best. But now the society is changing. AI, DX, many technology appears. So every talent should seek a different role, different opportunity every 3 to 5 years. So far, everybody should learn, should upgrade their capabilities. So that means company side also cannot guarantee he's hard working for 20 years, 30 years. At the opposite side also, counterpart side also, employee also cannot work at a single place. 3 years later, I can get more opportunity, I can develop this knowledge and capabilities. Always we have to think. That means I say liquidations. So liquidation of talent, this era is coming. So Japanese company also now changing. Already newspaper reported, ENEOS, Kubota, and other company, they drastically reduce the freshman recruitment. They heavily rely on mid-career recruitment. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, Japan only freshman recruitment. But now, more than 40%, 50% is mid-career. So that means Japan also can take different type of talents. India, already society is changing like Western countries. Mid-career is common. So now this platform is approaching. But we have to remember, NDIM-san also did some education training. So mentoring the students. So what we have to do? And recruitment company also can support. So 3 years, 5 years later, what career he or she should develop. So that will match with the industry requirements. So I believe this ecosystem platform is a keyword for further development between two countries.
Thank you, Ueda-san. Thank you so much. Okay, a question to you, Suzuki-san. JETRO has recently facilitated the Maruti Suzuki JETRO MOU on startup ecosystems. And you have spoken about how post-COVID Japanese investment in India is diversifying from automotive into IT, electronics, and R&D. So my question to you, Suzuki-san, is as follows. Japanese companies shift from manufacturing first to knowledge first investments in India. How does the ideal Indian talent profile change, and what systematic steps should Indian management institutions be taking right now to produce that next generation of India who are Japanese business architects?
Thank you very much, Nikiri-san. I've been in India continuously for 8 years now. Even during the COVID time, I was in Bangalore, and your point, the shift of those Japanese business in India is really impressive, something to me personally. And the shift from manufacturing first to knowledge first investment is fundamentally changing what Japanese companies expect from Indian talent. And while operation excellence remains important, of course, but today's focus is, or the focus should be now on more innovative thing, digital capability or cross-cultural collaboration, and the ability to work in global teams. And so the demand of the talent is now more to bridge talent. Someone who combine technical expertise, problem solving ability, and deep understanding of both Indian dynamism and Japanese business culture like that. And so from the institutional side, I think Indian Management School could act quickly in 3 areas. One is integration, Japan-focused curriculum. Second is strengthening real industry immersion. Today we have a prominent business person from Japan. It's really good to see. And developing the cross-cultural leadership capability. And I understand NDIM already, they're doing this, the 3 points. You are the leading institute, I understand. And allow me to mention about our organization, JETRO. Actually, this is where we can play a catalytic role. We are already working to connect startups, corporations, and universities. We already have some MOUs with ecosystem partnership, and we aim to expand this into structured talent pipelines, internship programs, and industry academia collaborations, specifically focusing on Japan-India business. So we can also facilitate exposure, bringing Indian students into Japanese corporate environment and helping Japanese firms better understand how to recruit and retain Indian talent effectively. And I mentioned the importance of mutuality. So another challenge is those exposure must happen from Japan side. Bringing Japanese students into NDI might be one of the idea, or the more Japanese experts like us to come to India more and more. That makes helping Indian firms better understanding about Japan. I also believe this bridge talent could be Japanese talent, not only Indian talent. So my same expectation rather goes to the Japanese management school too. Actually, it is almost a last moment for me. Staying in India. Next month and I will return to Japan. And I will go back to Nagoya. So my new responsibility is continue this initiative in Japan, promote more Japanese institute or Japanese business to make the interaction with India. That's my the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzuki-san. And I can promise you that in our next visit to Japan, we will first land in Nagoya Prefecture. You have an announcement?
Apologies for the interruption. I think there is a confusion with the translation technology that you're using. Please scan the QR code that is in front of your seats and select the language of your choice. So if you would like the translation to be in English, kindly select the language English. And if you need the translation in Japanese, please select the language Japanese. Thank you.
Okay. Yoshioka-san, question to you. Now, Kose recently invested in Foxtail, a Mumbai-based company. This tells us something important. Kose is moving away from Japan-first approach and is now listening more to Indian consumers and the Indian market. You are a Japanese leader who is running an Indian business, which is a big change. So my question to you, Yoshioka-san, is what is the most important thing you have learned about building a good Indian team and keeping them in a business where understanding the Indian customer is everything?
First, granting a certain level of authority to Indian staff. Japan staff or Japanese should be rely on Indian staff and extract their ability and their power. So, in cosmetic market in India and our industry, so at least Indian staff has more knowledge than Japanese staff, including me. So my main role is to check their performance. And I and the Japanese staff will support them, so they can take the initiative and any problem, any issue to resolve their themselves. So I need to believe Indian staff.
All right, thank you, Yoshioka-san. Ito-san, Yamato Logistics India started in 2008, working inside factories for Japanese car companies. Now today, you work in over 10 cities across India with more than 100 plus trained staff. Your team follows three important principles: reporting, communication, and consultation. And they deliver the same quality of service that Yamato is known for in Japan. And in my last visit to Japan, I witnessed, personally experienced those principles when I visited your factory. You came to India after working as head of international strategy at Yamato in Japan. That was a big move. So my question to you is, when you first started leading the Indian team, what surprised you most about Indian professionals? And what does that surprise teach us? What should Japanese companies stop assuming about Indian talent, and what should they start building on purpose?
First of all, let me stick to Japanese again, right? Because like a lady, like a folk can announce how to make use of AI technology. That's why it's better to speak Japanese. じゃあすいません、日本語で失礼します。ですね、私が、インドに、来ましたのが、2023年の11月なので、もう2年半になりますと。で、こういう MD の立場は初めてだったんで、本当にこの2年半はもうずっと勉強と、いう状況かなというふうに思うんですけども、特にですね、やっぱりインドの、HR、人事、というか組織の作り方で、私が驚いたのはその階層の多さですね、レイヤーの多さですね。日本もですね、大きな組織になってくると、非常にいろんな階層が出て、この人は何をやってるんだろうみたいな人たちも出てくるんですけども、インドの場合は、というもう結構例えば AGM とかディピューティー GM とか、でディピューティーと AGM はじゃあどっちが上なのみたいな、こういうですね、非常に細かなヒエラルキーがあると。でその階層ヒエラルキーごとに、 いわゆる役責任ですね。で、その役責をきちっと果たした人に対して評価として、インセンティブを与えると。このあたりの仕組みが非常に、私にとってはインドは、素晴らしい仕組みを持たれていると。で当社はですね、正直申し上げて、会社としては今18年目なんですけども、まだ、ちょっと大きな組織ではないと思っておりまして、組織ビジネスが拡大していく中で組織を作っていくというようなフェーズになっていますので、まだまだ、その組織、それからそれに対しての評価体系というのは、まだ今ちはかなと、未熟かなというふうに思ってるんですけども、いろいろなインドの企業さんとお話をさせていただくと、その辺の評価、特に、ハイエンドというか高いレベルの方ですね、のその評価制度がきちっとしているところっていうのは、ちゃんと結果が出てると。いわゆる日本語でいうとこの心象出没ってこれどういうふうに訳されてるのか分からないですけどっていうですね、ところが、すごくできているなというところが、本当にインドの強さだと思いますし、我々日本企業も学ばなければいけないところなのかなというふうに思います。以上です。
Thank you, Ito-san. Ueda-san, next question is for you. Your background is truly unique. You have worked for over 30 years in big Japanese companies like Kubota, Goodyear, and Daimler. You have an executive MBA from IE Business School in Spain. You have certifications in procurement, ESG, dispute resolution, etc. You are also a certified management teacher in India. You have lived and worked in India, Japan, and the United States. So you see this from both sides as a business leader and as an educator. So I have two questions. First one is, what is that one thing that Indian MBA students usually get wrong, what they try to build when they try to build a career inside a Japanese company? And second question is, what is one thing that Japanese companies usually get wrong when they look at Indian talent?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I'm quite different from other Japanese. I developed my career like Indians and Americans. Current company is a HIPS company, and finally I reach management roles. So already I set this target more than 2 or 3 decades. So first question was, yes, I think the most common mistake is Indian MBAs misunderstand Japanese career system. They think Japanese system also very similar to Western system. That's the most difference point. And I think this one we can solve not so difficult now under current situations, because I can say 2 words. One is contract. Another one is relationship. Japanese favors relationship, and Indian favors contract, like Americans, Europeans. So Indian people believe, okay, this is contract, we'll do, so we can get this amount. But Japanese believe relationships. So relationships is not only contract. In some meaning, a slightly longer or more longer contract. So 3 or 5 years, maybe 5 years better, I think. So this person will contribute to these projects, societies, and others. But Indians, Americans, Europeans think, okay, I'll complete this project within 2 years. That's contract. So I want to be the manager. So always fast track and others. So this point, Indian MBAs should consider slightly, maybe more slower promotion at Japanese organizations. However, Japanese company also now prepares career steps. So based on this one, Indian careers also should understand what's the meaning of relationships. So relationships is also different meaning. Japanese company also is ready to develop this talent, not only for one project. So this person will be successful one project, next project, third project, fourth project also, this person can get a chance. So Japanese evaluation and promotion system is also totally different from Western system, going up or out. But Japanese company basically never ask in such, most companies. So maybe somehow longer, but more possibilities there. So Indian talent had better understand it. Yes.
Thank
The
you.
second answer, yes, question, just a moment. Yes. So Japanese company side also must change. So this is the most important point. Japanese company up to now, they favors adaptabilities. Some student, MBA talent, can speak Japanese and understand Japanese manners. Japanese low context. Low context is very important keyword, I believe. Most Indian will be confused because India, America, Europe is high context societies. So this one very important point, but Japanese should understand the connectivities. Indian talent has very strong connectivities. Networking also very strong. And very high speed working and decision making. This one, our Japanese doesn't have so much. This is a good example. I studied at Madrid for executive MBA. Our professor always says, how to make Indian stop saying, how to make Japanese start saying. So this is the job of international MBA courses. Yes, that's right. First 60% Indian speaking always, then speak American, European, finally speak similar to Japanese Finland. Finn also very slow, Hungarian, some Eastern people also, and Japanese finally speak. So I believe Japanese and the Indian combination is very good because Japanese waiting, watching, monitoring, and Indian start to go, and then Japanese follow. So I believe this is good, combination for business societies. So I think we can beat Western countries, and Japan and India must be the number one, not only Asia and the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very insightful, Ueda-san. So true. All right, so this is the last round of questions. It is a rapid fire question. I would request you to answer in 2 sentences only. All right. Now, this is the same question to all 4 of you. It is the year 2030. A young Indian professional has just finished their MBA. It is their first day at a Japanese company in India. What is one thing that is different compared to today that makes this person think, yes, this is the right place for me. This is where I want to grow. So we'll start with Suzuki-san.
I was allowed only 2 sentences, but allow me 4 sentences. And you mentioned about 1,400 Japanese companies here in India, but the portion of Japanese SMEs is very small. Comparing with those Japanese companies in China or ASEAN, the small number of Japanese SMEs are now coming in India. They are shy. So my expectation is that maybe 2030, this guy working the Japanese SME company which initiated their business in India, and he has the very good responsibility, the making the good strategy for the expansion of this SME. That is a kind of my dream, and my way of promoting those Japanese SME the coming into India. So SMEs will recruit the good talent like you and coming to India successfully. That's my
Thank you,
expectation.
Suzuki-san. All of us are waiting for SMEs to join India, Japanese SMEs. Yoshioka-san, your answer, please.
By building the system that allows them to envision their future. And we will support them, understand that they can spread their wings and take flight from India to global. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Yoshioka-san. Ito-san.
Yes, I think finally it's better to speak English, I think. So actually, like, for 2013, like 4 years later, only 4 years later, but like I believe like for, let's say, industrial diversification has been more increased, I think. Let's say, for example, manufacturing, okay, on behalf of, like I said, for example, Maruti Suzuki or, the giant, the automotive industry, still, like, they aggressively invest in new plant and the new, infrastructure. But not only for automotive, but also semiconductor or other kind of like for high technological manufacturing, comes into the Indian market, I think. And then also, like, I really like not only for B2B, but also B2C, the market, like a Kosei-san, will be coming, like, for retailer or something like that. So accordingly, I hope, like, for more Japanese, including SMEs, come into the Indian market to boost, like, for Indian market, and then we seek, like, a bilateral, like, benefit between India and Japan. Like.
Thank you so much, Ito-san. Ueda-san.
Yes, 2013, I assume very drastic change comes. Maybe Donald Trump also not be there. And other leaders also maybe, Chinese and others also already, I don't know, maybe in the future something happens. So firstly, I say two sentences. One is, yes, we find the good place to work. Because I have already explained, Japan, India, I believe they try to make a good platform for talent people. Otherwise, both countries cannot grow and cannot survive. So everything is changing dynamically, and everything we have to accept, we have to go forward. Second point, yes, this is a place for us to ask our careers for future. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I can develop, I can go forward. In the past, I have several employees. They are very outstanding students in India. Most of them now work in US and Japan. And after working under me, 3 or 5 years, they got scholarship from US, Japan, and other countries. Now, one person is working for Tesla headquarters, and Boston Consulting, the others also New York. Why? Because they are always saying, I also have the same idea. We don't seek current money. 5 years, how much I can earn. 10 years later, how much I can earn. These talents say the same things. I also have the same idea. Because talent capability is the most trusted things we can survive. So money and gold. So physically it exists, but we cannot trust. So how to make the mobility? Mobility means that's a learning experience capabilities. So I believe 2013, India, Japan, and Indian students can say, I think like this.
Thank you, Ueda-san. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, all these 4 panelists brought 100 years of Japanese working experience together. So may I have a big round of applause for all 4 of them. Thank you so much.
To guide us into our next segment, our expert speakers will unpack the keys to long-term business resilience. Let us together welcome the second panel for today, who would be discussing on the topic organizational management and future strategy. As the admin team sets up the stage, may I take a few minutes to introduce the next panelist for today. Mr. Teppei Yamashita, Managing Director of K&L Communications India, a leader with 20 years of global experience spanning animation, licensing, advertising, and entrepreneurship. Sir transformed creative intellectual property into scalable business opportunities, including international expansion of Japanese animation titles into India. He bridges creativity and commerce to drive strategic growth for Japanese brands in the region. The second panelist is Ms. Nita Sakura, Assistant Manager of Nihon KI India. Ma'am is a specialist in cross-border business setup and corporate finance with a solid foundation in industrial profit management and a Cambridge MBA. She currently spearheads crucial accounting tax and establishment support for Japanese companies entering the Indian market. The third panelist is Mr. Rajesh Garwal, sir, Director, NRM International. He's an expert in business strategy, operations, and cross-border corporate solutions. He guided the company's expansion into multi-vertical powerhouse, spanning commercial offices fit-outs, hospitality networks, and incubation workspaces in Cyber City. Known for bridging international exposure with deep local market understanding, he's an expert in delivering seamless project execution. And the final panelist is Ms. Moksha Modgil, CEO of Geek Pictures Private Limited, who embodies the creative and commercial synergy between India and Japan. With a background rooted in art, architecture, and media, she translates her profound cultural fluency into forward-thinking corporate ventures. She drives innovation at the intersection of media and entertainment in bilateral creative collaborations. Moderating today for the second panel as well would be Professor Nikhil Singh, sir. May I request the panelists to kindly come up on stage and request the audience to kindly welcome them with a big round of applause.
Hello.
All right, so welcome to this forum. Now, your four organizations are all different. Advertising agency, financial advisory, real estate, and communications. But you all work at the meeting point of the India and Japan. Now, many Japanese companies say the same thing when they talk about coming to India. They say India took longer than we expected. So my question to all of you is, when a Japanese company first comes to India, there is usually one big assumption they carry with them, something they believe will work, but quickly realize it does not. What is that one assumption they must let go of in the first 6 months? So maybe we can start with Moksha-san.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much for having me here, especially amongst such distinguished personalities and with years of experience. We're a very young organization, and we're the India wing of Japan Geek Pictures. I think one of the most important things is we come into India with an expectation. Sorry.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yeah. So we come into India with an expectation and a defined process system that we think will work well here. And when we look at other East Asian countries where Japan has taken strong footprint in, we do go in with certain processes, and then we're able to train and then expect outcomes. Whereas in India, when you come in, the expectations are highly differentiated. You have to localize here, you have to understand the market. It is really not what you expect. That's what I would say.
Thank you, Moksha-san. Nita-san.
First of all, thank you very much to inviting me here. It's really nice opportunity for me. Actually, it's my first panel discussion, so I'm really nervous. But from my professional point of view, the Japanese headquarters and experts must give up the assumption that they can manage their tax and accounting things by learning after they come to India, because it's actually much more complicated than you expect. And then they usually give up and then leaving it to the local partners. That's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Nita-san. Rajesh-san.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Kari. Hi, Haruna. They're my colleague. So, yeah, I would just say the key word is relationship. So most of the companies, when they arrive here, they realize that having a great and proper relationship would work better than following the processes. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Rajesh-san. Yamashita-san.
Hi, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been an honor to be invited here as a panel speaker. Thank you very much. One thing they should let go, schedule. Yeah, I think it's out the window. I think it would be very difficult to convince the Japan headquarters because, of course, schedule matters. But once you land, that's just out the window.
Thank you, Yamashita-san. Okay, Moksha-san, now the question is for you. Now, Geek Pictures India did something very special. In 2025, you brought back the 1992 film Ramayana, The Legend of Prince Rama, to Indian theaters. This film was originally made together by India and Japan. You remastered it in 4K, and a whole new generation of Indian audience came to watch it. This is not a business achievement. It shows a deep understanding of what India and Japan share in culture, in stories, in values. Now, you are also a JLPT certification Japanese. You grew up with Indian roots and Japanese influences. You move naturally between two worlds. Now, as a CEO, how does understanding both cultures help you make better business decisions and you lead your team effectively? And looking ahead, India's creative industry is growing very fast. Japan has one of the strongest creative industries in the world. How do you see India and Japan building a real long-term creative business together, going beyond just shared memories and nostalgia?
Thank you so much. First of all, it was a great honor to be able to bring such an exquisite piece that was created between India and Japan and re-release it in India for a younger audience. Of course, with my roots in Japan, I've grown up in Japan. That's the first language I learned. The basic philosophy of how to operate in me comes from the Japanese roots. India is a very differentiated market. So for me and the way I operate is that I have two operating systems. And I think that I'm very blessed because my operating system from the inside is a very Japanese-rooted one, where I come with a lot of patience. I understand that systems need to be made. and thereafter to be able to understand where we've gone wrong and how we can improve something. This is a very reflective Japanese nature, and I feel very happy that I have this within me. The second aspect is in India, we're a very responsive market. When something succeeds, we need to respond to it. We need to add our resources to it. People need to make decisions faster. And most often, in a leadership position, you're put in situations where, unlike Japanese companies, you must respond now or in the next 1 hour or the next few hours. And that is something that my Indian roots have been able to provide me, where to be able to think, understand, measure the risk, and thereafter to be able to implement and work in India. So I think that working with these two operating systems has actually been one of my key talents, in able to operate between India and Japan, manage expectations, especially on the Japanese front, troubleshoot wherever required, and then training the young people here that we work with that this is the ecosystem with which our company must operate. Yeah.
Thank you, Moksha-san. So you can move fast and slow according to the culture. All right. Neeta-san, your career journey is very interesting. You have earned an MBA from Cambridge University and now you are living in Gurugram, working as a local staff member, helping Japanese companies with accounting, tax, and setting up their businesses in India. This is quite rare. You think like a Japanese business professional. At the same time, you work every day inside the Indian market. So you can see both sides very clearly. Now, my question to you is, when a Japanese company first comes to India in the early days, where do they most commonly go wrong with finance, compliance, and following Indian regulation? And what should they do right from day one to get this right?
Thank you for the question. So even if the company, they are coming to India, even if they're a big entity in Japan, they're usually coming to India as a very small team. And because of that, they tend to ask to the local staff or local partners to do the daily operations, and they tend to think that they can manage the things by just looking at the balance sheet and P&L. In fact, it's not true, and I have seen so many cases that once their accountant resigns, they find out the accounting and tax are a mess, or they leave the corporate compliances to the local partners and find out in the later stage that there is a big gap in their governance policies. But however, that I would like to say something important is that the local staff is not doing that because of with the bad intent. In India, daily operations doesn't work with rules, even in the tax things. Yeah, and to get things done for the company, they need to use their flexibility, and which is just unimaginable to Japanese people. It's a very high level flexibility. But if Japanese companies just let them go like that without managing that, then it's going to be going farther and farther, and they go it cannot come back, and they cannot continue the business in India. So what they should do from day one is what they should do is not just copy and paste from the Japanese governance rules, but they can first respect Indian people. Indian partners, and also their flexibility. And then with the respect, they can gradually start filling the gap. And if they don't have the resources to fill the gap, then they can ask us, like professionals like us, and we can together fill the gap, and then they can smoothly run the business in India. That's my answer.
Thank you, Dita-san. Very valuable advice for any Japanese company to start working in India. All right, Rajesh-san.
Yes,
NRM
please.
International has a very interesting story. You started the company with one clear goal to help Japanese companies find the right office space in India. But within just 2 years, your business grew into something much bigger. Today, NRM works across 4 areas: corporate leasing, serviced apartments, interior construction, and business center in Cyber City. What is remarkable is this. Every time you added a new survey, it was because your Japanese client needed something that did not exist yet for them. You listened to their problems and you built the solution. My question to you is, in the first 18 months of setting up in India, what did your Japanese clients struggle with the most? And what does that tell us? What does India still need to build or fix to make it truly easy for Japanese companies to come here and stay here?
Thank you. Thank you for your question. And very practical question, I would say. Is it okay? So, yes, that is certain that these companies face a problem. In fact, if I talk about my industry, so like setting up their office spaces, accommodation, documentation, after support services, and how the system works here, and like hiring a reliable vendors. So these are the main common problem which most of the Japanese companies face when they come here. And this is our story. This is how NRM grew here, because when our client faced these problems and there was nobody to take care of them properly, then NRM thought, and then that's how what the strategy we made, that we included those services in our portfolio, whether it was providing them the service department, designing of their office space, constructing their office space, even the Japanese restaurants. We provided our expertise to them, designing the Japanese restaurants and then doing the interiors there as well. And then we realized that, okay, we have done our work, but still there is something which is missing. We started with providing Japanese-speaking after-support services. And see, India is a great, huge potential market. And once the Japanese companies have their trust and confidence, they are committed to stay here longer and grow. So these are the two factors where I believe we have to work in order to get their trust and confidence. And after that, I don't think so there is any kind of looking back. And we are an example of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh-san. Yamashita-san, now you have worked for over 20 years across Japanese animation, global advertising, and building businesses. You have also lived and worked in the UK and US for 14 years. And today, through KNL Communications India, you help Japanese brands connect with Indian consumers. So, like other panelists, you also understand both sides very well. What Japan thinks and how India feels. So here's my question. Imagine a Japanese company comes to India with a complete advertising and communications plan made entirely in Tokyo. The design, the message, the tone, all of it is built for Japanese audience. But Indian consumer is very different. What needs to change at the India level to make sure Japanese brand truly connect with Indian people? And in that whole process of adapting and translating, where does the right leadership talent make the biggest difference?
Okay, thank you for asking that question, because that's my everyday life, adapting Japanese perception to Indian perception. And in the broad perspective, as you can understand, Japan is obviously compared to India homogeneous country, more or less the same from north to the south, fairly similar life and a fairly similar perspective. In a nutshell, in a big picture. Obviously, on the other hand, India is a hyper-diverse, multi-language, different religion, all sorts of people. And our business, advertising, marketing, and communication is we will help the client to be known to the particular target of audience, the people. And Japan being a homogeneous country, because it's homogeneous, the client, or what we tend to do is try to dive into a micro perspective of the audience. Where do they live? What are the persona? Do they have children? Are they living on their own? What stage are they in a career? So it's really, really micro how we try to derive the communication towards. And on the other hand, of course, if I've been living in India and try to help the marketing in India, because being the hyper diverse country, it really, in a way, does not really help to go into micro level because it's just so much. I mean, I cannot make a same advertising in a multi-language or multi-cities versions. Of course, the client wouldn't allow such a budget for that. What we tend to do, what we understand, what it speaks to Indian target, Indian people's audience and the target is the big picture. What I try to look is a big picture because that surpasses any language, any state, or any agenda, the hierarchy. That the emotion, what the story touches, the emotion is universal. So instead of diving into a micro, we tend to look at the macro field of an Indian target, and we try to make that message of the client towards the target in a bigger picture. Of course, the emotional driven, very much colorful, which sometimes Japanese not too good at, but I think the bold statement that communicate across all over India is necessary, and we try to help adapting that from the client to the market. And coming to the second part of about the leadership is, I don't want to say I'm doing the leadership part, but yeah, trying to explain the diversity about India, of India to Japan is very, very important. Although it's very, very challenging, but it's very, very important. So obviously showing the example of a great Indian commercial or marketing, trying to pick the stories of all these successful Indian companies to Japanese clients. So that sort of hand-holding is a very, very important process. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you, Yamashita-san. Now we are now at the last question. May I request you to answer in 1 or 2 sentences, if you can. Imagine a Japanese CEO comes to you for advice. Yeah, his company has just decided to open their first office in India. He is not yet in Delhi. He asks you one question. Before I even arrive in India, what is the one most important decision I must make about how I will set up and run my organization here? What would be your answer? We'll start with Moksha-san.
It's a hard question because to implement it's difficult. I will keep it short. I recommend coming in with a system, but be prepared to unlearn, adapt, and to work on vernacular grounds. No matter where we go to grow industries, markets, cater to people, we need to understand what is the local market. And that can only be understood through the people. There are pre-existing relationships, systems, experts. I would recommend to network well and be ready to unlearn.
Very well said, Moksha-san. Nita-san.
I would tell him or her the most important decision is to regard their day one setup as like a strategic investment rather than like operational administrative cost. with that foundation, with that solid foundation, they can go to the growth side, and they can go to the big wave of Indians, like a huge growth, which is the biggest business opportunity in the world right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Dita-san. In fact, I have experienced that. I have met a lot of Japanese companies. When they begin, they are more into strategic side, not the operational side. Thank you so much, Dita-san. Rajesh-san.
Hi, thank you. I would keep it very short, and as per me, I would suggest them coming with a willingness to train and develop people, and with lots of patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh-san. Yamashita-san.
Hi, thank you. I was going to say double, but I'll choose the word triple. What should be triple is re-estimate the investment and the time to achieve the goal. I think you should re-estimate triple than perhaps this person's currently estimating. And I'm not saying in a bad way, because as I said, India is a diverse country. It does take that much time for us to understand and get to the ground and make the business. And of course, as you rightly say, patience. You know, I think everybody must be a yogi or try to be a guru or find the best guru to pray towards. And I think the patience is the very, very much key.
Thank you, Yamashita-san. Thank you so much. I don't know why 4 seats always is so funny, in both panel. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please have a big round of applause for a value addition in your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, respected dignitaries, for an insightful panel discussion and bridging our understanding of the cultural and the professional world of Japanese organizations. Representing the Japan Center of Excellence at New Delhi Institute of Management, may I now request Ms. Yu Kawasaki to kindly come forward to propose the vote of thanks.
ただいまご紹介に預かりました NDIM 日本センターの川崎と申します。Please allow me to speak in Japanese as I have to demonstrate in convenience of translation apps as a member of organizing team. Okay. 本日はご多忙の中 NDIM が主催する日印ビジネスフォーラムにご参加をいただき誠にありがとうございます。Japan India Business Confluence main शामिल होने के लिए आपका बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you. 本日のパネルディスカッションを通じて日印ビジネスの可能性の大きさだけではなく、その発展を支える人や組織の重要性を改めて実感いたしました。インドの高度人材の採用・育成、組織マネジメント、ローカライズ、そして日本とインド双方の価値観を理解しながら新しいビジネスを作っていくことの重要性について多くの示唆をいただけたのではないかと思います。ご登壇いただいた皆様におかれましては、現場での豊富なご経験に基づく大変貴重なお話を誠にありがとうございました。またご来場いただいた多くのお客様にも長時間にわたるご参加を賜り、心より感謝申し上げます。2018年の日本センター設立以来、NDIM 学生の日系企業様への就職が年々着実に伸びております。日本センターでは今後も日本語教育のみならず、人材、文化、ビジネスをつなぐ取り組みを通じて、日印の未来を担う人材育成と両国のさらなる連携強化に貢献してまいります。皆様におかれましては、引き続き NDIM 並びに日本センターの活動にご協力、ご理解を賜りたく、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。本日は誠にありがとうございました。
Thank you so much. Now it is my privilege to introduce the leader and visionary of our institution, Dr. V.M. Bansal sir, former IAS officer and chairman of New Delhi Institute of Management. Over the course of 17 years with the Delhi Development Authority under the Government of India, sir's career has marked a series of historic firsts. He was the youngest director of DDA, the first senior officer selected by the Government of India for Delhi Metro, and served as advisor to the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi during the landmark Commonwealth Games. Sir has presented papers at UN organizations, ICAO Montreal, REPA London, ASCI Hyderabad, IIPA CII, ASOCHAM, PhD Chamber of Commerce, and FICCI, and has represented India across 15 countries, leading 10 high-level delegations. Under his leadership, NDIM has been declared the best management institute of India for industry linkages and the first and only mentor institute in management education in the country. May I request Sir to kindly share his concluding remarks.
It's a great day for us. Tremendous learning happening to our faculty and the students, and meeting so many new colleagues, people from the industry, people from the bureaucracy, people from the academia, who are going to add to our learning in the coming days. This college started and continues to focus on national leadership and grooming students for being committed nationalists and globalists. Japan's Center of Excellence was born like this only in 2018, when both the Prime Ministers decided to have 5 lakh manpower from India to Japan, and NSTC invited us to support them into that. Gradually, of course, COVID came and the whole thing took a different shape altogether. There were so many other players at that time. Perhaps all of them closed down during COVID period. But since we had a commitment and we thought that we'll use this experience to train Indian young talent for the Japanese industry coming to India. That effort has been multiplying over the years with the support, of course, of great friend from Japan, industry from Japan, JICA, JETRO, and everybody coming to us in a very big way. Japanese native being given to us all these years by the government of Japan for teaching our students. So there has been a big support. But we feel that, as the panelists also mentioned, we need to be doing much more in that direction, and we feel that very less is happening. How can that happen? I do not know. Of course, listening to the panelists, one could only see, because Japan, as you mentioned, is a homogeneous country, and in India, at every step, there's a diversity. So it is impossible for you to think like this while sitting in Japan. And obviously it takes you a tremendous lot of time to adjust to this thinking when you come to work here, come to start your businesses over here. It's not easy, because that mindset cannot happen. It's really totally sea change into what environment you have grown up into. Yet I would feel that in case India and Japan have to multiply their businesses, as you mentioned repeatedly, China, and I'm sure both these countries are now willing to step up their relations in a very huge way in the coming days. Some kind of a Japanese cultural expectations and Japanese way of working should be introduced, not as a huge course, but just as an introduction into the school curriculum and possibly at the college level. so that Indian mindset starts at least knowing what is expected. Today they do not know. And same thing in Japan also. Because for you, so much of diversity, not only for you, for most of the companies, so much of diversity in every field, maybe in religion, maybe in expectation, maybe at every road step, at every mile, at every stone, people behave differently. There's no one system of behavior, no one system of expectation. So at least if Japanese schools and colleges know that this also happens at some place in the world, so this surprise to them can come very, very early. And that could perhaps prepare the two generations or two countries to adapt to each other much, much faster. So my only request to each one of you is that since we are committed to this cause, and as mentioned, you have seen the short video of the Japan Center of Excellence, also mentioned to you that about the 90 companies where our students have recently, in last 2-3 years, either been interning or working. That number must multiply. We are very, very keen to change, very keen to adapt, very keen to do what you want. Let me tell you that the MBAs that we are teaching here, fortunately for us, we are not controlled by the government or any regulatory authority in that strict sense that we have to do or we have to teach only one specific thing. We have been declared from day one as a fully autonomous institution. It's entirely up to us what we teach, how we evaluate, how we measure it, and how we award the degree. So our focus has been, you must have seen that 7 Padma awardees are there from almost day one. We are now there since 1992. Very senior people from the industry, senior most people from the industry. Mr. T.K. Nair was just mentioned, was the recipient of the Emperor's Rising Son of Japan award. He's part of our board of directors, and he was for 10 years advisor and principal secretary to Honorable Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who has been union minister for 8 union ministries, he continues to be on our board of directors. And these are people who regularly sit together, debate, discuss for hours together to see what more can be given to the next generation. Rightly or wrongly for us, we are a business school set up not by the businessmen. We are all professionals from day one. And so here the business education is being given by the professionals. And that is what makes us slightly different from the schools set up by the business people. So we are committed to national cause. The founder of this institution, my father, he was a freedom fighter, fought for the nation, for the independence. I have been studying, some of my colleagues are sitting over here. I had my education at a army school, Sainik school. So in our culture, in our thought process, we are deeply committed to every student who joins us. And why I'm saying all this is, that is one aspect that has helped us build great relationship with the Japanese. Because you must have heard the total theme, the total message given by them was a relationship. And they would know better whether we have come up to their expectations in our relationship. If we have not, we'll certainly try to come up in the coming days in a much, much better manner. It's up to you to demand more and more and more out of us. But my, again, request would be that Indian youth is very hungry to perform. Very, very hungry, very eager to perform, but they do not know your ways of working. So you can kindly take this message to yourselves and to your colleagues in the Japanese industry, those 1,400 industries which have come in India, that they just have to spend some time and they have to put some confidence into Indian students, and they can certainly live up to your expectations, maybe more than your expectations. So that's my very humble request to each one of you. and all the people from Indian industry who have come here, joined us today. We are extremely grateful. We are sure that you'll keep coming here. Some of you have come here for the first time. So as I request, we have a very, very strong mentorship program. Government of India declared us as the first and the only mentor MBA school of the country. And I seek your help in that. I seek your help. Of course, when you go, you'll see in your literature, this is our mentorship booklet over here. Okay. 350, now 364 very senior corporate professionals, working CEOs and CMDs. They're regularly spending time with our students pro bono. And they're doing it only with one single purpose, because they found that they have to join hands with us in national development, in grooming the next generation of India while they are still at the campus. So I request each one of you, you have tremendous learning. God has been very kind to you. So be very kind to India's next generation also. Join our hand, we'll give you our platform to give tremendous satisfaction to you people. And one final word, since I mentioned that we are here for a national cause, we are a not-for-profit business school. All our infrastructure is available to each one of you, obviously free of cost. Whenever you want to do any big intellectual event, whenever you want to take the learning forward through your own platforms, please do not hesitate. We'll be very happy to come up, because picking up from the Japanese, we believe in building relationships which are lifelong. Only then an institution can stay for the future, because all those things have to build on great relationships. Thank you so very much, each one of you. And once again, big thanks to JICA, JETRO, all the friends from Japanese industry, all the friends from Indian industry, all our friends, colleagues. It has been a great learning for us, and I'm sure faculty is present here. We have been taking notes. I've been taking notes. So we'll see how best we can further take the learning given by you to the classrooms and take it for the evaluation. But yet, when I heard people like Mr. Garwal and all that, so new things are happening. You please take it to every campus, take it to every student. The work that you are doing can possibly multiply 1,000-fold. As I mentioned, Indian student is very hungry to perform, and they can. But they need guidance and information and support from each one of you. Thank you very much, and please, of course, Elizabeth will announce, please do not go without having tea with us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir. To express our gratitude to the distinguished guests, may I now request our Vice Chairman, Ankur Bansal, sir, to kindly come up on stage. To begin with, Mr. Yoshioka Sutomu, CEO of Kosei Corporation, India. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Ueda Jr., Managing Director of TPR Auto Parts Manufacturing, India. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Suzuki Takashi, Chief Director General of Jethro India. Thank you, sir. Mr. Daisuke Ito, Managing Director of Yamato Logistics, India. Thank you, sir. Ms. Moksha Modgil, CEO, Geek Pictures Private Limited. Ms. Neeta Sakura, Assistant Manager of Nihon KI India. Thank you so much. Mr. Rajesh Garwal, Director, NRM International. Thank you, sir. And finally, Mr. Tepe Yamashita, Managing Director of K&L Communications, India. Thank you, sir. May I now request the dignitaries and the panelists to kindly come forward for a group photograph. Chairman, sir.
ありがとうございます。で、閉会前にですね、日本企業の皆様、日本人の皆様でグループフォトをお願いしたいということでして、差し支えなければちょっと出づらいお席などもあると思うんですけれども、ステージの方にお越しいただけますでしょうか。
Thank you all for being part of this enriching session. This concludes our event for today.